one of the best ways to improve your garden is to improve the soil. Okay, start with the base. Improve the soil and you'll get there. Now, this over here, Biosoil. Biosoil, you dilute 50 mils into 10 liters of water and you apply it as a drench. So what is it going to do? Biosoil is full of fulvic acids. What is fulvic acid? Okay, so you often hear about us speaking about humates. Okay, add humates to your soil, or humic content. So humic content is basically this. And let me show you here. Humic content is any type of vegetative matter that is in the process of breaking down. This is humic content. Okay, so it's any vegetative matter that is in the process of being broken down in different stages. In this, in humates, we have different elements. We've got fulvic acid, which is in here. We've got humic acid. Fulvic acid is like a yellowish, and fulvic acid, I'll explain what it does now. We've got humic acid, and then we've got humate. Okay, now, what do they do, and how do they help us? Very simply, and I'm going to put it in the simplest possible way that I can, is as follows, is that when you're adding humic content to your soil, you do the following. A humic content is basically molecules, different little molecules. When you add them to the soil, the molecules automatically move to what we call the depleted root zone of a plant. Interesting. They just do that. They move from there to the depleted zone of the root. They hang about there. Okay? Now, in those is oxygen, nitrogen, phosphates, sulfur, and carbon. They're all there. The fulvic acid, which is the yellow stuff that I was telling you about, that's also in here, allows the humates and allows the nutrition to then get transported. So, you know, when we fertilize, we put liquid fertilizers on, all of that, it then transports it from here into the root zone. It's quite unbelievable. What it also does when you're adding this, because we're adding a good source of carbon, what it does, it improves, and carbon feeds the good pathogens, the good fungi in your soil. So it also feeds them. So when you're adding that, when you're adding fulvic, when you're adding your humic content, so humic acid, fulvic acid, when you're adding that to your soil, this is what's going to happen. If you've got clay soils, it's going to improve the structure of your clay soil. It's going to improve the porosity, and you'll be able to break it up quicker and a lot more aeration. If you've got sandy soils, it's going to improve the water holding capacity of it. It's going to make the nutrients that are there more readily available. So it kind of makes sense because naturally it is in soil. But in certain soils and generally in our gardens, we're lacking in the fulvic acid and the humic acid. So add it and watch what it does. Guys, watch what it does. Because you're feeding it directly into the root zone. Also very interesting that nutrients are a negative charge, so your nutrition that you're adding, and the root zone, the feeding zone of the roots is a positive, the root zone is a negative and your nutrition is a positive. If you've got your fulvic acid here and your humic acid, it gets transported straight to it, like through space and time. Okay, so I don't want to get too much into all the bits and pieces, but I will tell you this, that by adding this to the soil, you will find that there's been an amazing, you will find that vegetable farmers use this because it increases their yield, it increases flower production as well. So give it a try, because only you can make the difference